Hi everyone, Kingthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And right here I'm trying to make a video about a phenomenon that I've noticed in emails people send me, in conversations I've had with people who watch the show, in messages people send me over social media about the show as well. But I haven't addressed it until now because a fellow YouTuber, made a pretty interesting and I would say very accurate video about it. Here's a clip.
The other day it hit me because Drake's album came out, but I don't know if I liked it or I didn't like it, but I was leaning more towards the liking it avenue. But as always, YouTube's algorithm showed me that Anthony Fantano didn't waste any time and quickly made a review about Drake's new album. And his review kind of made me feel not so good in my stomach because now I lean more towards the middle of I'm not sure again whether I like this album or not. He said some things that I didn't think about listening to the album, but now that I'm aware of them, I don't know if I should keep liking the album because I always liked it, or if he is right.
I control you, bitch! Your favorite rapper sucks. Your favorite rapper sucks. And you don't like him anymore. And you know why? Because I said so. I said what you don't like, and that's why you don't like it. Your favorite band sucks too. Oh, your favorite band? They're shit. They're a shitty band. And you don't like them either, because I told you not to like them. You got poopy doo-doo caca taste. Poopy doo-doo. And your favorite singer sucks too. Screw your favorite singer. Your favorite ukulele player? Garbage. Your favorite electro ambient producer? Garbage. Your favorite new disco quintet? Garbage. I decide what you like, bitch. Honestly, this is one of the few things I will never get and I will never understand about my reviews. I get people hating my opinions. I get them disagreeing with my opinions. I get understanding and respecting my opinion. But one thing I do not get is that you cannot enjoy an album because I put out a negative review of that album. Turning people off of things that they like is probably one of the least favorite things about the influence that I have with the videos that I make. I would much rather influence people to like things, not to dislike things. But I mean, honestly, I give as much passion, I give 100% whether I'm doing a positive review or a negative review. It's just kind of the audience's choice that they would much rather watch the negative review a lot of the time. Ugh. And while, yeah, you know, I'm not a big Post Malone fan, and the guy who made this video, he brings up Post Malone, my negative Post Malone review. And yeah, the things I said in that review, I honestly feel those things. But I would much rather you spend time digging through my loved list and finding some recommendations there, rather than worrying about whether or not it's okay to listen to Baloney Maloney, because I don't really like the guy's music. This just confuses me so much because I tell you guys all the time that these videos, my reviews, are just my opinion. And I don't say that so that you can't get mad at me. People are gonna get mad at me either way. I say that because I'm saying, hey, take my lead here, form your own opinion, have your own point of view. If I want to influence you to do anything, it's to bring the music you're listening to the forefront a little bit, put it in the forefront of your mind, think about what you're listening to, and think about why you like it. Here's another point that this guy made in his video that I liked.
And he released an album, self-titling it, calling it Future. And goddamn, that album is my fucking shit. I give that album a 10 out of 10. It makes me feel like I am the one selling drugs. I am the one that's getting all these hoes. I am the kingpin. It makes me go into a fantasy world that I don't live in at the moment. That makes me feel like I am on fucker with the bull.
Let me give myself a bit of hypothetical credit here and say that, man, maybe I'm influencing you guys to dislike records that you previously liked because I just really thought about it and I made a good point and I just said some good ass shit. Maybe you just noticed some stuff I didn't, or he put things in a way that I couldn't. Even if that's true, I don't think that means I'm 100% right or you're 100% wrong, or that I'm even 80% right and you're 20% wrong. The math on that is dodgy, but you know what I'm saying. I get the idea of listening to an album and feeling like hypercharged off of it. You feel like you're that dude. Just me personally, I'm not trying to be that guy with all the hoes, you know? I want to love myself. I want to steal all the oxygen. I want to be the darkness creeping through your system. You know, the whip cracking every bitch into position. That's more my vibe. I love being empowered by music, just Future, he doesn't really empower me. There's nothing about his sound, honestly, that feels all that powerful or cool to me, or tough or gritty or whatever. To me, it just kind of sounds like a fish singing over a trap beat. That's just what it sounds like to me. If you like it, if you want to keep on liking it, then just keep on liking it. Try to understand where I'm coming from and just reframe what you're listening to from where you're coming from and just understand why you like it or why it appeals to you. Drake's More Life, for example. My biggest critique of this record is that so much of it sounded really unfinished, kind of unpolished, very background, and that's not necessarily a terrible thing. As I said in my More Life review, I think it's a reflection of how a lot of Drake's audience and just the mainstream audience in general for music listens to music, consumes music these days. I think Drake has successfully sort of catered to that. The sales of this project reflect that. I don't care for it, but that's mostly because it's not really what I'm looking for in my music. I think you could watch my review of this record and come away from it understanding what I'm saying, but simultaneously listen to More Life, but still enjoy it for the fact that it's just a little bit of vibe music, it's some background music, it's, nice and pleasant, it's atmospheric, it sets a nice mood. When I actually think about all of these bland, whitewashed dance hall songs, I do groan, but when it's just kind of playing in the background and it's just sort of, not at the forefront of my mind, it's nice. And honestly, I don't really think Drake meant for More Life to be anything more than that. So you could make the argument that this album succeeds at what it's trying to do. Still though, I don't think it's good. And I'm going to tell you that because I feel like that's my job, telling you guys my honest and straightforward opinion about new music. And I feel very much the same way about Future's music too. Stuff that I dislike, a lot of it is very popular, and even the stuff that I don't care for, I think has a time, has a place, has an audience, and if you just happen to be in that audience, then fuck it. The album's for you. It's meant to appeal to you. It's doing what it's supposed to do. I'm obviously not the person Future has in mind when he makes his music, nor do I think I should be. I digress though. My point is, I don't want to tell you what to dislike. If you want to come into some negative review that I've shot and get a laugh out of me tearing the record apart, that's totally understandable. That's fine. I get watching my reviews for that purpose. A lot of people do find my negative reviews to be kind of comedic. I get that, but don't come away from the review feeling like you gotta feel the way that I feel. If I ask you to do anything other than watch my reviews, it's just try to check out the artists that I review that you're not so familiar with, especially the artists who I do try to give a very positive review to. Music that does seem sort of special, at least to my point of view. Go out there and check out the Onda Tropicas and the Shoo Shoos and the Swans and the Idols and the Neil Cicerigas of the world. Clarence Clarity! But ultimately, I'd rather influence the way you listen to music rather than what music you listen to. Because simply buying every album that I buy and trashing every album that I trash, I don't think that's the most mindful way of getting value out of what I'm trying to do here. Maybe I made a good point about an album that you really like or you really love, but don't just come away from it shrugging your shoulders like, oh, well, I guess he's just right. No, don't do that. Like, stand there and really think about why it is you like this thing in the first place. Defend your shit. And you know what, if it comes down to, well, I just like listening to it because of some feel-good background music that I like to put on while I'm jerking off to some porn, then, there's nothing wrong with that. It's totally fine. It's totally cool. Not every record needs to be super deep or super lyrical or some super mega edgy conceptual to Pimp a Butterfly Death Grip shit. Some music can just be some passive fun. Some music can be, just wildly experimental, more experimental than I even like listening to. Some music can have some kind of deeper, hidden emotional meaning for you that it doesn't really have for me. And please go into my reviews understanding that there's most likely a difference between how I'm listening to a record and you're listening to a record. Because it's my job to listen to the album, I have to be analytical and focused and add attention and engage with everything that's going on in the song or in the album. Sure, I may overlook things, I may misinterpret things, but I'm not just taking this casual approach to my listen of the album. And that's going to inform my enjoyment in very different ways than, you know, your enjoyment might be informed by just kind of listening to an album in the same way that you would any album, just simply for pleasure. So while there may be certain things about an album that really matter to me because I'm just like, maybe they don't rank as high for you in terms of importance. So in final, I will say my opinion matters. My opinion controls you. My opinion influences everything you're doing only as much as you allow it to. Believe me, if I had control of what people were thinking, I would have some much more interesting ideas than, you know, getting you guys to like some fucking albums. All that being said, though, thank you for watching this video. I hope this has caused you to reflect a little bit on the videos I make, how you watch the videos that I make. I know this isn't going to stop people from sort of consuming my videos in the ways that they do. That's totally understandable. You know, if this is entertaining for you guys, you pick your level of enjoyment, you pick the kind of enjoyment you get out of these videos. I just personally don't want to be causing anybody any sort of like, I really like this album and Fantano ruined it for me. Like that's really not the kind of, you know, emotional stress I want to be putting on people, especially over something as simple as music. I mean, obviously I love music. I take it really seriously. I have made music the fucking center of my life, which I orbit around. But you know, it's nothing to sort of, you know, get all stressed over like this. You guys are the best. I will catch you in the next video. Love ya, mwah, mwah, mwah. Transition. What do you think about this topic? Influence, opinions, changing opinions, hearing other opinions and having them change your mind? Let me know down in the comments. And also let me know about, you know, whether or not this whole Fantano's made you hate an album, the thing has happened to you before. You're the best. Links next to my head, other videos I think you should check out. Subscribe to the channel, official website too, forever.